and I really enjoyed it down there. And then this job became available, and I said, I'm gonna move here.
Nice. Is that where you started out working in terms of like working with cemeteries and
Yes,
stuff?
actually, I started right out of high school.
Okay.
I started working part-time for the cemetery department in Templeton, as a seasonal employee, just mowing and trimming and doing that kind of stuff, that
Sure.
labor. And then I moved on to foreman over there in 1986, and then superintendent in 1990. So I spent 27 years of my career as their superintendent. And then this job became available, and I applied here, and I'm pretty happy here.
Yeah. How's it been so far?
Good. Cemeteries are the same no matter where you're at. You're dealing with family issues and things that grieving families, but it's what I love to do. So I try to help them through it as best I can.
What made you interested in going into this line of work? 'Cause I've always wanted to ask someone.
I didn't want to go to college. I just wasn't a college kid.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go into the military, so back in the 80s, that was kind of your options. You either tried to go to college or you tried to go to military. You really, so I was just working at the cemetery as a seasonal employee, and I just fell in love with it. I said, this is what I would like to do. And I had a sister that had passed away early on, and so I've had tragedy in my life, and so I really wanted to try to help people in that area as best I could. So I think that was part of it too. But I really enjoy the work.
Okay. And so you're here most of the time, or did you go to visit some of the other cemeteries too during the day?
I do go out to the other two cemeteries during the day. I spend an awful lot of time in here because of record keeping and looking at equipment and looking at how to improve their cemeteries and make them better for them. So I spend a lot of time in here.
Sure. What are some? I know that you just started fairly recently, but what are some of the things that you're hoping to do in this position?
I'm hoping to get a new software program for their records, so that I can get their records on computer, so it's much easier to do things with them. I also am hoping to do an expansion of a cemetery. Right now, they have 3 cemeteries in town. Woodside is this one here. It's the largest. It has still probably, I would estimate, 5 to 7 years of life, maybe more. But it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
The need varies from year to year. Whitmanville is fairly small. It doesn't have a lot of room left. And Mount Pleasant is in between. It's a medium-sized cemetery. It's a little smaller than Woodside, a little larger than Whitmanville. That one doesn't have any full burial space because everything in there is ledge, and so when you dig down, you hit ledge and you can't get anything deep enough. So there isn't anything available up there for your traditional burial. So I'm looking future, and it's always good to plan future. You try to plan for what's going to happen down the road. Sometimes it's difficult. My primary goal is to get this cemetery so that it's in better shape than when I came.
Yeah.
So that, when I leave it for the next guy, he can walk through that door and be able to take care of things as best